Guys, wait for the twist. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor, and man, this is huge news. It just broke online. So happy to report this. Guys, look, apparently Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter are reportedly returning for Bill and Ted 4. That's right, hot off the heels of Bill and Ted Face the Music. If you're bummed that the trilogy is over, well, they have great news for you. According to sources close to We Got This Covered, the same ones who said that the new Exorcist movie's in development, and Netflix is working on a Witcher prequel, so, I mean, both of those, they say, were correct, so they must be telling the truth. Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter are reportedly set to reprise their roles yet again in another installment in the iconic franchise. Yep, you read that right. We're getting a Bill and Ted 4. I mean, wow, what a score! This is epic. It's currently unknown if other cast members will be coming back, but hopefully fan favorites like Death, the hilarious daughters will at least make an appearance. It would also be nice if Reeves' character could sport a beard in the next pick. It's just too weird seeing him without one. One thing's for certain, and that's the writers have a tall task ahead of them for the upcoming sequel. The plot of the last film revolved around the heroes writing a song to save humanity, space, and time. Upping the stakes from that will certainly not be easy. Truth. I mean, but wow, looks like, guys, officially they're back. Well, let's check out what Ed Solomon, the writer of Bill and Ted, has up his sleeve for this one. Oh, look, he's sharing the article. It must be real. This article reminds me of a dream I had 2 nights ago that for some reason I had enrolled in 5 classes at NYU and had no idea what they were, but it was now finals week. I'm excited to see Alex and Keanu on the set of what I'm just hearing about for the first time now. Oh, by the way, this film is not happening. Sorry. I love it. Oh, gosh, it just happened like a half hour ago, and I love it, love it, love it when Hollywood filmmakers, writers, directors, actors call out clickbait movie sites. And We Got This Covered is the worst. So there's our twist, guys. Those of you who are falling for Bill and Ted 4, I'm sorry. That's what they do, but it's not true. Quit falling for this nonsense. Quit falling for this garbage. Bravo, Ed Solomon. Bravo for calling it out. I mean, James Gunn does this a lot of times too, but it must feel so sweet to do this. To just be like, yeah, no, I'm going to pop that bubble because you're a fake, crazy, terrible site. We got this covered. Look, so here's what we're going to do. The truth is, obviously, he just proved it's not going to happen. But I want to break down how crappy this site is. I've done it before, but I found a new method to show you its craziness. And the way we're going to do it is, since I'm going to have to click on a lot of their views, I'm going to do what I typically do here when I make fun of these sites. Let's do a fundraiser, a Popcorn Planet fundraiser. If you guys can sit through this nonsense and all the commercials I'm going to throw at you, you'll be paying me instead of them. That way you get to be entertained and we get to take some money away from We Got This Covered. And don't worry, I have ad blocker on, so they're not getting anything. You're only paying me to watch this crap from We Got This Covered. And I'm going to expose what they're really doing. So let's see if you can do this challenge, all right? I just gave you a cool scoop. Now let's go through and see if you can get through all of these commercial breaks and support Popcorn Planet. Here's commercial break number 1. Did you get an ad? Hopefully you got an ad. I placed an ad there. Stay tuned. You'll have more opportunities. Sometimes YouTube puts them there. Sometimes they don't. All right. So now if we're looking at this article, let's first break down how they do this and how they get you. Because the reality is they're finding any excuse to put in their keywords. Bill and Ted Face the Music, Bill and Ted 4, Netflix, Death, all this stuff is in there to try and, Alex Winter, Keanu Reeves. They want all these keywords in there at the top of the article in that first sort of paragraph and in the title to make sure they're getting the most effective optimization for the search engines, for Google, etc. And so they do that all on purpose. And notice all of these links go back to other articles on their site, where they're tagged and all this stuff. And so you can sort of see all the things they've said about this movie over the years. And they usually sort of figure out ways to sort of hide the ones that aren't as honest, the ones that are more speculative. But all of these articles, click here. You can see all these hot links go somewhere, including like the one about Death. If you click there, Death's Triumph or Return. So when that trailer dropped, they did 10 articles about each character in the movie, just so they have tons of articles. That's what they do. Article. And whatever takes off in the algorithm, they get money on. But you'll notice here that, it's Bill and Ted 4 is even mentioned just twice because you want to make sure you have it repeated. That's how it works. And then they just speculate garbage. They speculate garbage. They throw some pictures in, and then they just, again, put some more in here. Oh, here's another link. This is the one that made Kevin Smith cry. Tell us, are you excited for Bill and Ted 4? There it is again. Another, the more often you can use that with your maximum amount of words, the better. And so far, it's only been out for a handful of hours. 215 people have liked this page. There's already like one reaction that, sorry, Karina, you're buying a lie. This isn't true. But this is just one example that sort of just proves that it's a lie. Now, let me show you the trick to see all their lies. Before I do, though, it's time for ad break number 2. Got to get paid. Ha ha! Hopefully that one worked. Now, what's interesting, there's 2 things I want to show you. But first, let's go through this. Now, look, reportedly returning is a key word here, right? They use this one a lot. If you go through, we got this covered. I think even I zoomed in for you, but even on the side here of their trending articles, it says Ben Affleck reportedly willing to return. Daniel Radcliffe reportedly open to return. Here's how Idris Elba could look as the next James Bond. They always are sort of trying to figure out, all right, what's trending? Harry Potter's trending because of the whole J.K. Rowling stuff. Ben Affleck and Batman always trending. Idris Elba, James Bond. They just sort of figure out, all right, well, what's gonna pop next? Let's start speculating on that stuff first. And so if you actually go Google reportedly returning, we got this covered. Evangeline Lilly is reportedly returning to Lord of the Rings on the TV show. Agent Carter is reportedly returning to present-day MCU. Christian Bale's reportedly returning to cameo in The Flash with one condition. This one's even more frustrating because they took my scoop. I was the one who reported that first. And the fact that Christian Bale, obviously, I made point in my article that he's not going to do it unless Nolan approves it. So they made that an article. And they say here that their sources say that he's coming back. But again, we previously heard that Christian Bale was a backup option for Warner Brothers if Keaton was against returning. That's a lie. But now we've heard from our sources, the same ones that told us Affleck would be reprising his role a month before confirmed, that the star of Dark Knight trilogy could still be involved in the film, but only one condition. According to, he'll only show up if Nolan, he gets approval from Nolan. And this one got shared a lot. There was another one I looked, but still, look at all these comments. People are always just are buying it. They're always just buying it because it shares around, and this is a clicky, smart thing. But they don't know. They got no source. They lie all the time. Now, so you go back and you check. Okay, Daniel Radcliffe reportedly open to return only if Rowling isn't investigated. Let's check this one. I'd love to see how honest this is. Before we do, though, it's time for ad break number 3. It's a YouTube fundraiser. Hopefully you're getting those ads. You're supporting them to support us here on the channel. Thank you. If we're going to call out, we got this covered and have to read this garbage, I appreciate you sitting through the ads because it helps. All right, so here's an example, right? So reportedly, he's also coming back. The other thing you got to see when I did all these, when I go back, I'll show you. These are all written within like the last few days. They get all these massive scoops, like hours and days within each other. So this is all because of the J.K. Rowling controversy. So notice there's no quote here. So many. Radcliffe has seemingly accepted the fact that Harry Potter will define his entire career at this point, and he'll have to keep talking about it for the rest of his days. No source to that. No source to this. He just has seemingly accepted it, guys. He's seemingly accepted the fact that Harry Potter will define his career at this point, so, But he's also refused to definitively rule out a return to the future. In fact, he gave a PC answer way long ago, but he hasn't guaranteed or said he's doing it. In fact, once Fantastic Beasts runs dry, you'd imagine that Cursed Child is next in line. And now we've heard from our sources, the same ones that told us that Osaka Tano will appear in The Mandalorian, and Ryan Reynolds has a secret cameo in Hobbs and Shaw, that the Guns Akimbo star is open to the idea of a cameo or even a proper return to the role, but he has one condition. According to our intel, Radcliffe will only consider an appearance if J.K. Rowling isn't involved in whatever project he signs up for, as he looks to distance himself from the author's controversy. So this is literally all they're quoting is his one quote where he distanced himself from her because of all the controversy. It seems the studio would need to pick between the star and the creator, though we already know which one the fans would instantly throw their hands to support behind. In any case, it's nice to hear the actor hasn't totally ruled out the return. 10,000 people like this one. This is crazy. No source, just sources. Sources say. I mean, this is ridiculous. What? This isn't true. I wish he would call this out too. Let's see, but he won't, just because he doesn't want to give this site any more credence. But it keeps going and going. Scarlett Johansson's MCU return is reportedly official now. She's reportedly returning as well, guys. Again, no quotes, no nothing. According to our intel, Marvel is set to keep their cards very close to the chest. But Scarlett Johansson has reportedly signed on the dotted line and agreed to a deal to return to the MCU. While details are thin, studio obviously needs to be careful about how they bring her back. Of course, there's several options: time travel, flashbacks, and alternative realities. 53,000 people shared this one. They're just making stuff up, guys. They're literally making stuff up. They're throwing stuff against the wall and to see what sticks. And some of this stuff is obvious. Some of the stuff could very well be true, but they're just making it up before anyone else reports it. So when it comes forward, they can say the same sources that told us Black Widow would be back. And all she has to do is show up in a slight little cameo as alternate timeline and Doctor Strange 2, whatever it is. And now suddenly this is a true article. Now they're a reputable source. Godzilla TV show is apparently in the works. Shuri's Black Panther will reportedly join the Avengers, the new Avengers. Hawkeye will feature a classic Iron Man villain. Samuel Jackson reportedly returning for Mace Windu prequel. Henry Cavill's reportedly signed a 3-movie deal to return as Superman. He did that yesterday. Shia LaBeouf's reportedly asking Disney to return to Indiana Jones. Ryan Reynolds reportedly returning for multiple Detective Pikachu spinoffs. I mean, you guys get the idea. Joe Bernthal is not done with The Walking Dead yet. And if you just go through there, you can see it. Shia LaBeouf reportedly wants to return as Indiana Jones 5. There it is again. Ryan Reynolds reported eyed for 2 live-action Disney remakes. Reportedly developing a Killmonger spin-off movie. The Conjuring 4 reportedly in development. Tom Welling reportedly in talks for The Flash. Netflix's Legend of Zelda reportedly adapt Twilight Princess and the Breath of Wild. Oh gosh, not a breath. This is not a breath of fresh air. So anyway, you can see what's happening. They just keep going and going, and they make things up. And when things work, they work, and they take the credit. So I want to show you one more trick here to prove that they just throw darts at a board. There's no actual sources. Sometimes they guess and they get it right, yes. But here's what's telling. And I want to put an ad out to everybody out there. If you've ever written for We Got This Covered, and you're not a robot, and you're willing to talk to me, and you can talk to me off the record, anonymously, whatever you want, I'd love to get to the bottom of this. Because I don't think this author is a real person. I don't. I've tried. When you click on it, it doesn't go there. But I'm gonna show you what I mean after this break. Thank you for sitting through the ads. See, it's a telethon. We get lots of ads in this video. All right, now when we go back to this article in question, it's written by Evan Lewis. I tried to find Evan Lewis. I can't find it, but all I can find is all the other posts that Evan Lewis has done. But it's very interesting. So he's also written that reportedly. Look how many reportedly articles he wrote just today. That's today. Reportedly returning from Bill and Fed. Reportedly as a cameo. Ryan Reynolds, Free Guy, reportedly as a surprise cameo. Evangeline Lilly reportedly coming to Lord of the Rings. That's what he wrote today. And then what's interesting is you go down here. I love this one. On September 23rd, he decided to just write 4 Ryan Reynolds articles. Ryan Reynolds reportedly eyed to be the live-action lead in Tarzan. Ryan Reynolds is also reportedly eyed for the live-action role in Atlantis, The Lost Empire. And then he wrote an article that just basically linked them both. And then Netflix just had another one, an underrated Ryan Reynolds movie. So on the 23rd, he just decided to write 4 Ryan Reynolds articles. And apparently they got the scoop that day that Disney wants him for Tarzan and Atlantis. Yeah, that makes sense. They're going to cast him as the lead in both movies. Okay, cool. You couldn't just have picked one? You couldn't have guessed one? You're like, well, no, because he could be either. And then we got to make sure we were right. He's not going to play Tarzan. Come on. This is a stupid site. But yeah, look at all these reportedly were in the works. Blair Witch. Scream 6 has reportedly already been greenlit. Robert Pattinson has a movie now coming out on Netflix. So they'll just do some like, all right, well, let's talk about his Netflix movie. And then they'll just make stuff up. Netflix reportedly courting Robert Downey Jr. for big action movie. Chris Rock says the new Saw movie will have some humor. So that's probably a quote. So you're getting the idea here. They just make it up. They just make stuff up, and they do it over and over again. And honestly, I don't even know if these people are real. Evan Lewis, if you're out there, if somebody knows Evan Lewis, if you're writing this, please, because apparently they're also reportedly discussing a Lord of the Rings spinoff for Gollum. Yeah, Amazon's going to spend all that money to make the new show, and they're going to make a Gollum spinoff at the same time. That seems a little odd. Why not just put Gollum in there? It's very expensive what they're doing with Lord of the Rings. Again, but what's so frustrating is, I guess, sure, right? They could make a Gollum spinoff, supposedly. And then if they do, they guessed it right. Then they have it covered. They have everything covered so much that no matter what, something will be true. All right, we're going to wrap this all up. Before I do, though, one more ad and prove that you made it all through. Let's see it. Did you get it? How many ads did you get? I want you to tell me down in the comments below how many ads actually showed up, how many you sat through. Thank you for doing that, supporting this channel, for sitting there through all of them. I really appreciate it. Share this out there so we can spread the word on We Got This Covered and get the truth out there. And you'll be supporting us instead of them. And I'm an independent creator, always staying honest with you. That's my goal here, to be honest. I haven't always been honest in my past, but ever since I've come back here on Popcorn Planet, is my goal to not trick you or lie to you, but to tell you the truth about what I know out there and speculate, have fun with it, and always be honest that, look, this is speculation. This is not true. Bill and Ted 4 is not happening. And thank you, Ed Solomon, good sir, for going out there and doing this. That must have felt so good. Please keep it coming. Please keep that honesty coming. I always appreciate you. If you didn't watch our video with him, go check it out. And if you'd like to see us wade through the politics of the debate tomorrow night, tune in here. We'll have a live stream attempting to do some drinking games, some scorecards, try to hear both sides. People have asked. It's on my typical streaming night. Instead of competing with it, we thought, let's just try it. Might be the one time only we tackle such topics. So tune in there. We'll have some fun. It'll be interesting dialogue, to say the least. If you don't like that, there's lots more you can watch, and you can also just subscribe. Thank you so much for tuning in here to Popcorn Planet. I'm Andy Signor. We'll see you with more reporting soon here on Popcorn Planet.